Today might be a bit of an obscure and very specific comparison video as we look at how several countries have kitted out their wheeled Boxers as infantry fighting vehicles. But since we looked at the various Type 26 frigate configurations, we thought it would be fun to do something similar for the Boxer as an IFV. So, let's get started. The first thing we must do is define what an infantry fighting vehicle is, since this will dictate the vehicles we include and exclude for this video. There are many websites out there trying to define IFVs. The broad consensus is that it's an armored vehicle that has the capability to transport troops to the front line like an APC, but also pack some of its own firepower to join the fight. If we go with information written by William F. Owen for the Journal of Military Operations, then an IFV needs to have a balance of firepower, mobility, and protection. The IFV is designed to fight, that is, to engage in direct fire combat with the enemy, either with the infantry section or fire team mounted, or in support of a dismounted section. This stands in contrast to the Armored Personnel Carrier, or APC, which is and was designed to only deliver the infantry to a point where they dismount and fight on foot. The APCs then withdraw until required to perform support tasks. Because of the way most of the world defines IFVs, the UK's future Boxers will be excluded from our comparison. As stated on the British Army's website, the Mechanised Infantry Vehicle, or MIV, will be used to rapidly transport soldiers to and around the battlefield. The website adds that initially the British Army will buy a troop-carrying variant, an ambulance, a command vehicle, and a specialist carrier. So, well, no Boxer IFV for the UK. This still leaves us with a handful of Boxer IFV operators/customers. There's the Australian Army, the German Army, Lithuanian Land Forces, the Qatari Army, the Royal Netherlands Army, and Ukrainian Ground Forces. Unsurprisingly, it's the turret and cannon that are the main differentiators for each country's IFVs, and some countries even have near-identical setups, making this a fairly simple and straightforward video. But going through our list, we begin with Australia and its Boxer CRV, Combat Reconnaissance Vehicle. The CRV comes in as a replacement for the Australian Light Armoured Vehicle, or ASLAV, which has seen extensive operational service since its introduction in 1996. According to Australia's Defence Ministry, the Boxer CRV operates in a range of environments, from the littoral environment to contested complex urban environments. The website Army Recognition explains that the CRV, using a two-person Lance 2.0 turret from Rheinmetall, is armed with a 30mm Mark 32/ABM chain gun with dual feed capability storing 200 ready rounds. There's also a Mag 58 machine gun. The turret is configured to accommodate a dual Spike LR2 anti-tank guided missile launcher. The fire control system is fully digital, incorporating a 360-degree commander's independent sight and a gunner's sight with both day and thermal imaging channels. A laser rangefinder is integrated into the system for target acquisition, while the hull and turret are equipped with modular armor with provisions for additional ballistic protection. In a different article, Army Recognition states that these vehicles are fitted with Australian-specific communications and battlefield management systems and were temporarily equipped with Kongsberg Protector Remote Weapon Stations, or RWS, taken from the old ASLAVs. And then moving on to Germany and the Netherlands, we have the Jackal, or Schakal, infantry fighting vehicle purchased by these two nations through a single deal. This IFV variant was meant specifically for Germany's relatively new medium forces model, which aims to strike a balance between somewhat rapid mobility and firepower. This combat vehicle combines the chassis of the Boxer wheeled armored vehicle with the unmanned turret of the tracked Puma infantry fighting vehicle. Fitted to the turret is Rheinmetall's 30mm Mark 32/ABM chain gun, the same weapon as the Australian CRV. The press release announcing the contract states that the deal covers optional additional services such as protection against anti-tank hand weapons, firing attack detection, and firing attack identification, as well as drone defense. However, no specific equipment has been announced for these categories as far as we know. It's our understanding that the Boxer IFVs taken by Qatar and the vehicles handed over to Ukrainian forces are quite similar to the Shakals ordered by Germany and the Netherlands. Indeed, these are equipped with the same unmanned turret as the Puma and the same Rheinmetall 30mm cannon. However, it's been reported that Qatar's Boxers, all 10 that were ordered, are more specialized to be anti-drone vehicles and have a passive radio frequency sensor that detects the emissions of commercial drones operating in the vicinity and identifies their location. Army recognition states that positional data generated by the sensor is then transferred to the RCT-30 fire control system, so the turret can adjust its aim for aerial engagements using the 30mm programmable airburst ammunition. It's our understanding that Ukrainian forces' Boxer IFVs are also equipped with systems specifically designed for counter-drone operations. While this type of system hasn't been explicitly mentioned for the Boxer IFVs ordered by other countries, it wouldn't be too surprising to us if some sort of anti-drone capability were added given the increased use of unmanned aerial vehicles in modern warfare. But quickly getting back to Germany, we should note that the country has another Boxer IFV variant known as the Schwere Waffenträger Infanterie, or Heavy Weapon Carrier for the Infantry. As noted by DefenceNetwork.com, this variant is actually based on the Australian CRV and is actually produced by Rheinmetall in Australia. And so, just like the CRV, this German Boxer variant will have a 2-man Lance turret with the same cannon as the others we've mentioned so far. It's our understanding that a multi-role guided missile system, Mehrrollenfähiges leichtes Landflugkörpersystem, or MELS, is also fitted, and that this will also be the Spike LR. It's said that this vehicle serves as a successor system to the weapon carrier Wissel, even though it's obviously much larger and heavier than its tracked counterpart. And finally, we reach Lithuania, which seems to have the most different setup of all the Boxer IFVs we've covered. Called the Vilkas with the Lithuanian Armed Forces, this is the Lithuanian word for wolf. These wolves are equipped with the Israeli-made Samson Mark II unmanned/remote weapon station turrets, which are fitted with the US-made 30mm Mark 44S Bushmaster II cannon. Also fitted to the turret are 2 Israeli Spike LR anti-tank missiles, as well as a 7.62mm coaxial machine gun, as well as other integrated specialized equipment and electronic systems. The website Oryx says that a range of turret options were evaluated before the Elbit Samson Mark II was declared the winner, including the one used on the Puma and now other Boxer IFVs. It may or may not be worth noting that Lithuania has experienced several issues with the integration of the Samson Mark II onto the Boxer. Indeed, it was in July 2022 that the country's deputy defense minister at the time said the platform itself has proved to be successful and of very high quality, but added that most challenges were connected to the Israeli-made turret. I'd prefer not to disclose any details, but it involves software improvements among other things, he said at the time. Upgrades were eventually installed, and it seems like things have been fixed. And so that's your fairly simple and basic rundown of various Boxer IFV setups. Which turret and cannon would you go for? Let us know by leaving a comment.